Alright, what's up everybody? Peter Joseph here for another video right here on the Peter Joseph channel, youtube.com/PeterJoseph. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video and subscribe right now to this very channel. And you can also subscribe to my other channels, which are all in the description box below. And don't forget to tap that bell and turn on all notifications so you don't miss a video. So you don't have to be SOL, and you know what that means. Ha ha ha! That's pretty much it. Alright, on this late Tuesday night, July the 11th, 2023, or if you're watching on the replay, July the 12th, 2023. Hope everybody had a great Tuesday, and if not, that's too bad for you. That's that. But on this late Tuesday night, it is time for your late night NXT review for July the 11th, 2023 from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando, Florida. Alright, so tonight was I thought it was a pretty solid show. We had the fate of my cousin, Tony D'Angelo. Tonight, his fate was in Stack's hands. If he wins, Tony D is free to go. He's free. But if Joe Coffey wins, then we're going to get the trial of Tony D, which could have been compelling television. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Also had Tiffany Stratton, Daddy's favorite girl, taking on the resident weed smoker, that's Thea Hale. Folks, more bowls than Wesley, Tyler Bate, and Booker T combined. We had that. We had the Judgement Day on, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. And, Judgment Day making the rounds on Raw. Now on NXT, maybe it'll be on SmackDown this Friday night. And really showing the WWE that the Judgment Day is a force to be reckoned with. Not as great as the Bloodline, but still. Me move on with that. Alright, so let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. And as always, our commentary team of the man with the creepy jacket. That's Vic Joseph and Booker T, sucker! Who did not wear his tank top this time. Maybe it wasn't that hot in the Capitol Wrestling Center. Maybe he had the AC on. I don't know. But anyway, we had them on commentary. So we start off NXT with the Judgment Day. We have Senor Papi Priest, Papi in the Bank, Damian Priest. We had Fiend Balor. We also had the Women's World Champion, Mommy Rhea Ripley, and her Latino. He is my son, Dominic Guerrero. Mr. Gilmore, you see that? Yeah, I saw it, Eddie. I saw it. It's my son, I know. Dom, Dirty Dom. They all come out to a great reaction from the crowd. 3 of the 4 people were coming home to NXT, except for Dom, who never went through NXT. You should have, but this time. But anyway, so Finn gets on the mic as the fans chant for Mommy Rhea Ripley. So Finn says, "Daddy's home." And it's time to do some Judgment Day shit. Starts off with praising Papi Priest, who doesn't like Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. Then Dom tries to get on the mic, and, he gets the Guerrero treatment. Booed out of the building. And then we see Melo and Trick. They come out. Melo praises Fiend Balor, but says the two of them run this place, the Trick and Melo show. Papi Priest says that's because Judgment Day isn't here every week, because they're basically running Raw. So then Trick and Papi Priest get into an argument, and Trick says, "I wonder how you got that name, Dirty Dom. He must have dropped the because we all know Dom did Hard Time. More hard times than Cody Rhodes knows about. Right, Cody? But anyway, then we get a tag team match for later on. It's going to be Trick and Melo taking on, well, some combination of the Judgment Day, but then we find out later it's Finn and Priest, the great law firm of Finn and Priest. So we got that. So I gave this segment 3 out of 5 stars. Pretty good start to NXT, and we move on. Then we go to Mackenzie Mitchell, who does a segment with my cousin. At this point, he's in jail. Tony D'Angelo, my cousin, who needs to, get to chow time because it's dinner time in jail. But so Mackenzie's like, do you trust Stacks to get the win so you can be a free man? So Tony's like, I knew him as a kid. We grew up together, something like that. But I can't really trust him because I'm hearing things about Stacks. I'm not so sure anymore. I can trust him. I have confidence in him anymore. So we'll see what happens with that. But I said this since day one when they had that when Stacks was named the underboss. I'm like, yep, he's gonna turn into a rat. And what we're getting is him slowly turning into a rat on Dawn. I think when they win the tag team belts, which they probably will, I think Stacks will just get really jealous of Tony and want to be the Dawn so bad that he will turn on Tony, they'll lose the tag team belts, and then they'll eventually have a match for, I guess, to be the true Dawn of NXT. And then I would think, if I was booking it, I would have Tony D win the match, and then Stacks goes to the back of the line, or maybe goes to the main roster, I don't know. But that's how I would book it. But that's that. But we'll see what happens with that match coming up a little bit later. Joe Coffey and Stacks. That's that. Alright, then we go to a segment with video of Gigi Dolan, the vivacious Gigi Dolan. Talks about how she puts herself out there while Kiana James tries to hide her insecurities and her past. So we see some pictures. So we see an expose of Kiana James as a young girl, growing up to be a vivacious woman that she is. Basically, showcasing her as a different person than she is now. So we see that. And then Kiana James is in the women's locker room looking on with a bunch of hot chicks in the back. Don't know, must be recruits. Anyway, she looks at that, and the girls are looking on, kind of like, I don't know about you. And Kiana insists that's not who I am anymore. I'm a businesswoman now. So that feud continues on, Gigi and Kiana James. See where that goes next week. And that's pretty much it. So I gave all that 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. Alright, then we go to our first official match of the night. We have tag team action player. We have Charlie Dempsey, Mr. Regal's son, and Drew Gulak, catch point, against Chase U of Mr. Chase, Andre Chase, and Duke Hudson, the teacher's pet, I guess. Along with Thea Hale. It was an okay match. Nothing really great about this match. I was like, I don't really care about this feud that much. But it kind of went back and forth. Mr. Chase gets in trouble. Mr. Chase gets in trouble. Duke Hudson comes in. But then he gets in trouble. But he fights out of that, brings in a hot Andre Chase who cleans house. Some suplexes, the spelling stump of doom to Mr. Regal's son. A high cross body gets a near fall. Then it's time to exchange some German suplexes. And then Thea Hale gets on the apron, and she is pissed. She must have smoked a real bowl to get that. I'm gonna kill him. Then she puts Drew Gulak in the Kimura lock on the outside, and then Regal Jr. tries to roll up Charlie Dempsey. That doesn't work, as Duke Hudson puts him in look like a gory bomb position, and then Mr. Chase comes off the top rope with a fratliner, really sloppy fratliner. And that finishes off Mr. Eagle's son, Charlie Dempsey. 1, 2, 3. Chase, you get the win. Match was meh. So I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. And we move on. Alright, then we get a promo from Braun Breaker. So ready to beat up the Russian Dragon, Ilya Dragunov, and become the #1 contender to face Carmelo Hayes at the Great American Bash for the NXT title. So we might see Melo Braun 3, or we'll finally see Ilya versus Melo one-on-one. So we'll see what happens with that later on in the evening. So I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Then we go to Von Wagner. And I love this. I really love this storyline with Von Wagner talking about his childhood. You know, Robbie E trying to, calm him down and everything. I like it. It's pretty interesting. So this time, Von talks about how he was an outcast as a kid because he had the titanium plate in his head. He looked like Frankenstein. Kids didn't want to be around him. He eventually had to accept being a monster. And then when he got to NXT, people considered him a monster. He wasn't accepted and everything. But last week, when he put Javier Bernal through the announcer's table, and the fans were going nuts for him. For the first time in his life, the fans were cheering him. He liked it. And now he feels accepted and everything. And he thanks Robbie E for all that. And then he leaves, and then Robbie E's like, I did my job. And that's all I gotta say about that. So, we'll see what happens with Von Wagner. Maybe he gets a big, humongous push. Maybe gets the North American title. I don't know if we'll get the world title, but maybe the North American title. But we'll see what happens with that. But I like how the storyline's going each week. We're getting to know Von Wagner a little bit more. I wish we would get more of this for certain other wrestlers, like we're getting with Baron Corbin now. I'll get to that in a minute. But very good segment here. And I give it 3.25 out of 5 stars. And we move on. Alright, then we get to our next match. We go to the ladies. And we have Kaylani Jordan with Dana Brooke. Taking on not a skater girl anymore. The resident mean girl, Cora Jade. Wasn't really anything to write home about. This came about from last week where Cora came out and kind of challenged. Kaylani said, I got another match in me. Cora's like, nah, I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do it on my time. So we'll get to this now. Basically a 4-minute suckfest. Kaylani doing her gymnastics routine. I mean, you could have done that in the gymnasium. I really don't care about that in wrestling, even though, Tiffany Stratton in her match with Ivy Nile did a handspring. That was very nice. But she's an actual gymnast. I think Kaylani's also a gymnast, but that's how WWE gets their people now. They hire people that are gymnasts and like Gable Stevenson, former NCAA champions and shit. You don't get actual people that can actually wrestle. But, it is what it is. So anyway, kind of a meh match. Cora Jade gets the win after a sick-looking DDT after Kaylani Jordan tries for a springboard. That gets broken up and Jade hits the DDT. 1, 2, 3. Cora Jade is your winner. And the match I gave 2.25 out of 5 stars. After the match, Cora tries to go after Kaylani Jordan, with the stick, but Dana Brooke comes in and she makes a save, and that's pretty much it. So we'll probably get another Cora Jade, Dana Brooke match that I really don't give two shits about. I really wish they would elevate Cora again. I mean, she really should have been Women's World Champion by now. And all she got for her career is a measly tag team title reign with Roxy that went nowhere after one fucking week. Ugh. I don't know. I don't know this, Shawn Michaels. I don't know. I don't know what you're thinking sometimes. But really, Cora Jade should be Women's World Champion. I'm sorry. I mean, I love Tiffany and all, but, you know, I think Cora, with her mean streak and everything, you know, not so great on the mic, but I think, you know, she could be a future women's world champion. Or I don't know why they haven't pulled the trigger with her yet. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's it. Great song by The Party, by the way. Anyway, we move on. Big ups to my girl, Tiffany Hale. I can't, you know, whenever I talk about The Party, that's, you know, back in the 90s with the Mickey Mouse Club, you know, I have to, you know, praise Tiffany Hale. My sweetheart had such a crush on her. I think everybody did back when they were watching the Mickey Mouse Club back in the late 80s, early 90s. They loved her. I loved her so much. But sadly, she passed away about I think a year or two ago. So I know her anniversary's coming up. So that's gonna hit me hard. You know. And it is what it is. We'll get past that. Move on. But anyway, Corey J gets the win, and we'll see what happens with her and Dana Brooke as we move on. All right, after that, we get to Ilya Dragunov. And promo saying he's ready to become the #1 contender. So we get that. And I gave that 3 out of 5 stars. Then we get a look back at Eddie Thorpe, Carl Fredericks, for those of you who don't know who he is from New Japan. Showing how he beat Damon Kemp in the NXT Underground match last week. Pretty damn good match. With Gable Stevenson having a part in that. So we see them leaving the building. I think this was taped after they won the match. So they talk about what they're going to be doing next. Gable Stevenson isn't sure what to do right now because he loves being in NXT, but he also wants another Olympic gold medal, and that's why he's going for, I think, a 5th year in the NCAA thing, college. Probably will get another Olympic gold medal. I mean, I don't know when. Well, next year is the Olympics. I think we get the Summer Olympics. I think next year, right? I think the Summer Olympics is next year. I think, but I don't know. I know it's every 4 years, but I think we're about to hit the Summer Olympics this year. I think the Winter Olympics is supposedly 2025, 2026 because of the pandemic year. They kind of cut. I think they cut the Olympics a little bit. So I think we had that in 2021 with the Summer Games. So I think the Summer Games are coming back up again. So, but we'll see what happens with that. With that, let me move on. All right, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. All right, then we see some recruits watching this promo and watching something, and then Dominic Dijak, the Big Boss Man 2.0, he comes in and he's not impressed with Eddie Thorpe winning one NXT Underground match. So we'll probably get more NXT Underground matches coming up. Maybe Eddie Thorpe versus Dijak. Could be good. I think Dijak will whip his ass, but then again, who knows? And we move on. All right, so I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we go to the #1 contenders match between Ilya Dragunov and Braun Breaker. The winner, like I said, gets a title shot at the Great American Bash coming up in about 2 weeks. This was a pretty damn good match. Back and forth they went. Braun basically beating the living crap out of Ilya. Ilya just coming back for more. At one point, Breaker cuts Ilya off with some raised boots. Then the top rope Steiner Bulldog, barely even connected, knocks Dragunov for a loop. And then Dragunov comes right back up with a Death Valley driver into the corner. Ow. Then he hits the coast to coast, or, well, I would say the Van Terminator, but not with the chair, or really it's Shane McMahon's, Shane McMahon coast to coast move. Then Ilya goes berserk. He hits the torpedo for a near fall. And Dragunov's like, so shocked about that Braun kicked out. Breaker goes back as Ilya comes off the top rope, and Braun hits one wicked fucking spear. I mean, hey, you could play for the Niners, dude, or the Jets. Football season's about to start soon. Training camp's about to open next week, actually. training camp. And then a couple weeks away from the Hall of Fame game, that's the Jets and the Browns in Canton, Ohio, at the Hall of Fame game. Rodgers will probably play for a little bit, probably like maybe one quarter. We'll see Rodgers, in his Jet debut. Really don't care about that. I care about the actual start of the season, September the 9th, I believe. No, wait, when does the season start? God damn it. I think because September 2nd is payback. September 3rd is all out, I should say. So it's September the 10th, I believe. September the 10th is the first Jet game and the first Niner game. The Niners will play the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that's in Pittsburgh, I think. But hopefully Brock Purdy will be under center. He's doing some good shit. He's still testing his elbow out. So, they still got Trey Lance on the freaking roster and that idiot Sam Darnold. No! Hopefully we don't see him. I mean, we'll see him in maybe a preseason game. Not that nobody will care about. But I just hope that Brock can stay healthy. We don't even have to worry about Trey Lance, except if it's like a meaningless game. Like the Niners are like 14-1. Like, oh, we don't care. We'll just sit Brock Purdy to the playoffs. But we'll have to see. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous about Brock Purdy right now and the Niners, But hopefully Brock can start week 1 against the Steelers and did what he did last season and just go basically 12, I think it was 12-0 when he came in. Boom, the Niners were like lights out, winning like machines. But then they came to the Philadelphia Eagles, the pedophile Eagles, EDP 445 is a team that he loves so much. They had to play like dirty birds and bang to freaking Brock's arm. Basically, the game was over after that. I didn't really give two craps. But still, a great season for the Niners. It came to a screeching halt in the first quarter of that game. But, even with their emergency backup quarterback who did nothing, Josh Johnson, get him out of here. He's gone, thank the Lord. But we'll see what happens with the Niners and the Jets coming up this season. But I'll talk about that in September. I don't want to talk about it right now. But we move on with that. So anyway, so talk about so Brown hits the spear. Then he loads up for the grill press power slam. That gets reversed into a DDT for a near fall. Breaker hits a mean-ass clothesline. Goes for another spear. Gets caught up by a knee to Breaker's head. And then Ilya hits a torpedo into the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. Ilya Dragunov with a shocking victory over Braun Breaker. So at the Great American Bash, I think we'll have a nice banger of a match. Well, if Braun would have won, probably would have a banger too. But anyway, I think we've seen the Mello Braun saga already, so I think it's time for something new. So Ilya Dragunov versus Mello at the Great American Bash for the NXT World Title. And it should be a great match. But this match was also great. 3.5 out of 5 stars. And that's pretty much it. And I think we've seen the last of Braun Breaker on the NXT roster. I think he will be going up to the main roster, probably be on SmackDown, and then, like I've said since the draft, basically, that Braun Breaker will go to SmackDown eventually and be the one to sadly, possibly end the reign of our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. All right, move on. All right, then we go to Mackenzie Mitchell and her best friend, Wesley, the North American champion. They talk about being ready for Mustafa Ali at the Bash for the North American title. And then Dirty Dom, and Mommy Rhea Ripley come in. And basically Dom says, I hear you're the open challenge guy. Well, I accept your challenge. So Wesley's like, well, I don't do that anymore. But if you want one so bad, we'll do it next week. So next week, Dominic Mysterio, taking on Wesley for the North American Championship. Will it be a title change? Probably not, but we'll see. That's it. All right, I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we go to Baron Snorbin Corbin. Driving along. You know, we see him, what happened, what he did last week, throwing his old fucking gimmick gear into the fire. So now he's looking to the future, but still living in the past, per se. Not knowing who he is anymore. He's changed his gimmick so many times. And then he comes to somewhere, I don't know where it is. He comes to a circle of torches, and he asks who he is. So did he just join a cult? What is this? It's like, where's the Undertaker? No, I'm kidding. But, you never know, but... Not like the Undertaker would ever do something like that. Imagine the Undertaker doing a promo, and he has all his druids around. I don't know if he ever did that, but he should have. All his druids around him, and then, like, his opponent would come up, or some guy would just come up, and like, I praise the almighty Undertaker. And then Undertaker, this would be like something like the Ministry Taker would do, when he did it to Midian, when he did the sacrifice and everything on live TV. That was creepy. But imagine him doing it in a promo, not like the sacrifice when I meant when he was doing the Ministry of Darkness era. That would be weird. That'd be great TV, but now, I don't know if Taker would be doing that. But Taker's still the GOAT of all GOATs. I mean, you can say Roman and everything, you know, with his title reign and everything. But him and Taker are like 1-2 in my book. Taker will always be my favorite wrestler of the modern era. And Roman is clearly number 2. Oh, you thought it was Adam Cole, right? No. Adam Cole's in the top 5. Top 5 of the modern era. With Kenny, you know, and the Bucks. Even though they were a tag team, but in any case, we got that. And we move on. Alright, enough about that. Alright, so we'll see what happens with Baron Corbin possibly going back to the Lone Wolf gimmick. We'll see. So I gave that 3 to 5 stars. Then we go back to the Capitol Wrestling Center for Ivy Nile taking on my girl, Tiffany Stratton. Daddy! Daddy's favorite girl. I'm Daddy. Non-title match. And it was a pretty decent match, you know, Ivy losing the Creed brothers and basically directionless, so I don't know what's going to happen with her. Pretty decent match. She locks in the diamond chain lock, or goes for it. Tiffany somehow broke that up, throws Ivy into the corner. Then she hits the Regal roll. Then she goes on top and hits the prettiest moonsault ever. And gets the win in over 4.5 minutes. So Tiffany Stratton continues her winning ways. Daddy's happy. And all that good shit. So Tiffany Stratton is your winner. Match I gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. After the match, she tries to cut a promo. And the crowd's like, you tapped out! All the KCU marks. You tapped out! And then she gets all pissy. Like, I didn't tap! Daddy, I didn't tap out! You did not. The referee didn't see it. So we'll see what happens with that. I know it's leading to, well, I'm getting to right now. Chase U and Thea Hale in the locker room. They're giving her a pep talk. And they believe that she can be the women's champion. So it's like, rematch. So eventually, we will probably see a rematch at the Bash with Tiffany Stratton and Thea Hale. And I think Tiffany's going to win. I really can't see Thea Hale, of all people, Thea Hale, winning the women's championship. No. Please, for the love of God, no. That's all I got to say about that. So I get that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get to Noam Dar, who's still depressed. I think you need to see a therapist there, Noam Dar. He's still depressed about losing the Heritage Cup to Ben Frazier, or Nathan Frazier. Blah, 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 blah. But he still has, you know, the rest of Meta 4, you know, cheering him on and supporting him. Oh, well, sucks to be you. That's that. All right, then we have Blair Davenport talking to Mackenzie Mitchell. She starts mocking Roxy for taking a beating last week and says, if you mess with me again, you're going to get the same thing. So see what that happens with that situation. So I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get to the fate of my cousin Tony D. We have Stacks and Joe Coffey, 1-on-1. If Coffey wins, then we get the trial of Tony D. If Stacks wins, Tony D is free to go. He's out of jail. So big time stakes in this match. Stacks also gets a tag team title shot if he wins with Tony D. So this was a pretty good match. Well, not a great match, per se. We had Mark Coffey and Wolfgang at ringside. They get involved. We also see Lucian Price and Bronco Nima get involved. Well, they glare from the balcony. Then they get to the ringside area. I call them the Boricua Gangsters, by the way. You don't ask me why, but they just remind me of the Gangsters. No, Jerome. I'm not gonna. I have you know who taking care of him. My good friend Mike Awesome. But anyway, I haven't talked to him in a while. I'll talk to him later. But in any case, so Wolfgang starts yelling at the referee, which allows Stacks to grab what looks like a pipe, which really wasn't a pipe. It was a crowbar. And with the referee turn around, Stacks hands the pipe to Wolfgang, and he does a basic Eddie Guerrero essay. And then the referee turns around, he sees Wolfgang with the crowbar. He says, "You are out of here." And then Stacks hits the running knee to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3. The Don is free. Yes, my cousin. Get in here, my cousin. How you doing, my cousin? Oh, my cousin Tony D'Angelo. We're going to go. Well, not now, but tomorrow we're going to have some chicken parmesan for $2. Oh, it's going to be great. I thank the Lord for Stacks. Thank the Lord, Stacks. You're a great man, but you're still a rat. So Stacks gets the win. They get the Tony D'Angelo family get a tag team title shot, probably at the Bash, and I hope they win. But we'll see what happens to that. But this match was okay. 3 out of 5 stars, and that's it. All right. After that, how much time I got? Ooh. Then we get the schism coming up to Ivy Nile. Joe Gacy says, "I'm not the masked man." They invite Ivy to join the clan. Get that. Then we get to Alyssa Leon and Valentina Feroz talking to Noam Dar. Talking about Noam Dar. The Los Adorios come in. They try to hit on them. And then Dragon Lee and Ben Frazier come in to get rid of them. So I'll probably see a tag team match next week. That's that. Then we get to the main event. Carmelo Hayes and Crick versus Finn and Priest. Mommy Rhea Ripley once again getting involved. So the Judgment Day get the win after South of Heaven by Poppy Priest into the coup de grace like we saw on Raw last night. Well, last night. So Judgment Day gets the win. Match I gave 3.25 out of 5 stars. That's it. Judgment Day now runs NXT now. So that's pretty much it. And Ilya Dragunov tried to get involved and he got hit with the case. But that's pretty much it. So miscommunication. But anyway, that's all I gotta say for now. 6.5 out of 10 stars for NXT. Thank you for watching, everybody. Peter Joseph signing off. Peace!